Alright, welcome one and all, whoever may be watching this. This will be part 6 of Tides of Numenéra. I feel like in some ways, even though I'm doing like 20 odd minute videos, this might be a very slow paced playthrough. It's quite dense as far as dialogue is concerned.
Yes.
Which is fine. But just know what you're in for, I guess, is gonna be... Oh hey, we've been here before. Am I fighting sorrow again?
Yes.
Interesting. Interesting.
I'm ready.
Was the nighttime your doing? I don't think this was part of the ideal functioning of the clock, but Minion would know more than me. She looks strangely disappointed. No matter, he says, steepling his fingers. You have tried and proved conclusively that you are not the changing god. Just as well you did not try to deceive us, eh? He smiles. I intend no offense, revered one. There are those among your kind who would think to inflate their importance, and we will always find the truth. We are pleased that you are not among their number, he bows. But we have answers for your questions, revered one. That is, as soon as we hear the report of what lay within the clock. Tell us. She is nearly breathless with excitement. I met Kamos, Deviatiku, and Villion. Disappointment creases her face. I know these names. They are not new to us. They were favoured servants of your creator, cast-offs who served him well. Indeed, Devitiku brought the Order of Truth to Saga's cliffs. But they betrayed their holy trust and disappeared. He sighs. Nevertheless, we will honour our arrangement. You sought answers about who might repair the resonance chamber. We know that your sire built it, and with the aid of another cast-off, still unknown to us, perhaps one of your siblings might know where to find him, or her. I know of only one other cast-off still in the city, the albino assassin Makina. They call her the White Death. She wore a camouflaging cloak and brought destruction in her wake. The last I heard of her, she was in the underbelly. He restrains a shudder. Seek her, but be wary.
I'll remember that.
Oh, more tutorials. Okay, your travels have left you more experienced. Yeah, they have. This will grant you a choice of improving your statistics, skills, or abilities. To do so, open your character sheet. Spend your experience points by clicking the plus button next to your experience meter on the left side of the screen. Okay. You can choose between 4 advancement steps. When you gain all 4 steps, you will increase your tier, unlocking a new selection of abilities and other bonuses. Okay, so select one of the following options to spend your experience points. You can select each option once per tier. I think this time around I might go increase stat pools. So I've got 2 points, so let's again just go intellect. Actually, let's just go all in on intellect this time around. So that's that. I don't have to do anything else. You haven't leveled up. Okay, cool. Legacy Guardian, Dominant Tide Gold. The gold tide represents empathy, compassion, and sacrifice. People attuned to this tide consider the needs of those they care about to be greater than any other consideration. Martyrs, philanthropists, avengers, and guardians are often attuned to this tide. Kind of curious what this whole tide situation is about. Okay. So we need to go to the underbelly. Cool. And then, you know, at some point we have to find a book.
All right.
So then I wonder what that whole situation was about. This thin, fidgeting Aeon priest shoots furtive, sidelong glances at the creature within the nearby cage while humming a nonchalant tune. When he sees you're watching him, he flinches. Over the course of a few frantic breaths, shock becomes embarrassed anger, and he opens his mouth to shout at you. There must be a way, but how? They never leave it alone. He then spots Aeon at your side and sneers. Oh, look, you found someone to chase shadows with, Aeon. How much are you paying her to pretend your blather makes sense? He spits at your companion's feet. Aeon raises his eyebrows at the spatter of wet dirt. It's nice to be famous. Not that you know, because I sure as hell don't know you. He smirks in your direction. Typical Order of the Truth acolyte here, treating tasty gossip as evidence. Doesn't matter if something's true so long as it's interesting. Maybe they should call it the Order of Trust. Aeon barks a laugh. Maybe, but most of them sure as hell aren't chasing the truth anymore. You turn back to Beleazar. The young priest is regarding both of you sourly. What do you know about the creature over there? What? Beleazar says, jumping. Then he takes a breath and struggles to sound offhand. It's a Numenéra, a biomechanical creature, an information gatherer, in fact. He seems to calm down as he warms to the topic. They're dangerous, though. You can only speak to them at night. During daylight, they'll attack without provocation. Attack without thinking, huh? Aeon says, smirking at Beleazar. You're practically twins. You're planning something, aren't you? Beleazar weighs the intent of your words with narrowed eyes. Are you with the Order of Truth or just snooping? I'm a friend to the Order. Maybe I can help you with whatever you're trying to do. What? Was that a fail? No! He looks you up and down. You're no friend of the Order, and I'm not planning anything. I'm enjoying the fresh air. Honesty and openness, hallmarks of the Order, Aeon mutters, keeping his voice low. If you really want to know what he's up to, you could ask one of the other priests at the Order. I'm sure they'd be happy to sell out his secrets. Ugh, my first failure. That hurts my soul.
Go.
The machine towers above you, like a dagger driven into the ground by a giant. It seems much older than the surrounding buildings. Your hands itch to touch the array of dark panels scattered around the machine, as though they have touched them before. I examine the device. Your hands slip over the cobbled-together components and greasy cables, the buttons worn by frequent use. It is a strange accomplishment, this machine, clumsy but deft. Amateurish, but masterful. Only a brilliant mind could have melded so many desperate parts into a functional device. Unfamiliar memories whisper to you. This device was used, though you don't know how, to generate a field that unmoored everything within it from time itself. Alright, let's do the anamnesis. That word. We're going to try to remember what the machine, why it feels so familiar. Failure, no! Retry cost 1 intellect. What would that do? Hey, okay. You've fully depleted. Oh, one of my stat pools. To recover your stat pool. Oh, okay. You find a place to sleep or use consumable items and ciphers. Interesting. Okay. So I have no more intellect. Is that what you're telling me, game? I am just going to be fumbling around like a madman. You close your eyes to better concentrate, sinking into the currents of a memory that does not belong to you, or at least not to the body you are in, and you hear the thunderous heartbeat of the operational generator calling you from across centuries. You open cold, focused eyes, ignoring the screams, the drifting tangles of black smoke. Your attention is solely focused on the health of the machine's heartbeat. You reach into the hissing guts of the generator, adjusting and tuning, hoping. The heartbeat fades into the past. Your hand, your body's hands, rest on the rusty surface of the long-dead generator. Okay. So it's some kind of weird generator. I'm glad I depleted my intelligence for that. So now we need to find somewhere to rest. Is that what you're telling me? To the underbelly, okay. I'm just going to have a quick run around. If I can find somewhere to rest, I might just jump to that.
Yes?
Okay, so I haven't been able to find anywhere to rest, but I was able to use something in the inventory to at least regain 3 intellect. I just feel like walking into the underbelly without any particular way of navigating conversations might not be the best way to approach this, but like, whatevs, Trebs. Or unless we could go to the government square and see if there's anywhere there to rest, but like,
Let's go. Let's go.
hello thugs. Are you going to be like the thugs in Planescape Torment that just attacked me? Or is there somewhere here I could rest?
I'm ready.
So we've got a mutant, a cultist, we've got a headless man. Yeah, that's fair. The cultist glances over at you casually, his eyes widen when they reach your face. I had heard you intended to explore the city, but I never imagined you'd find your way down here. What an honor! He folds his hands before him. How can I help you, beloved vessel? I'm looking for a woman named Makina. Have you seen her? The cast-off? Not recently, he says. But she does work with Folsom from time to time. He may know where she is. The man is pale, dirty, and nervous. He is stealing glances at your tattoo every chance he gets. He flinches when he notices you studying him. Never have I seen it so close. What have I done to earn this blessing? I like your mohawk, my dude. Oh, Allegan's lab? Hey! What's this mess about? But why is he hanging out up there?
Go.
He's like, no, I will not come with you. Hey, tell me about this place.
Thanks for getting rid of Calestige. You have no idea what it's like traveling with her. Though I suppose you've had a taste even from that short trial.
He scuffs his toe in the ground and looks away. I'm going to say this once. I'm not much of a talker, but you know I have questions about your identity. That you're willing to bring me on says something about you. What that is, I'm not sure yet. Still, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt, and I'll help where I can. Clear? Sure. So that's settled. What do you think of what the cult of the Changing God told me? Honestly, I thought they'd be more helpful. Instead, they're just guessing. They don't know any more about you than I do, he snorts. You've got my apologies for that, for what it's worth. Hells, they spend all their time thinking about you lot. They should have a better idea than almost anyone. At least they gave us an idea of where to search next. He shrugs. We'll keep looking. What's your story? Not exactly my favorite topic. Fine, ask. You said you were an Aeon priest. What's the story with that? I worked with them for years, but when I came to them for help, they refused me. They gave me no time, no resources, no aid. They said I had to give up my researchers. Said I was... He bites off the last word. Obsessed, they said. Heartless creatures. How could I not be? He grunts and looks away. The Order of Truth and I don't get on. They think I'm cocked, and I think they're frauds. We exchange these little pleasantries every time we meet. I only got one friend left there, and I can't even contact him most of the time. Why do they think you're cocked? Because I speak my mind to them. Who's your friend? Orthfong. He does a little research for me from time to time, personal work. Can you tell me about your history? He watches silently for a minute, considering his words. I'm not from around here. I was the local Aeon priest for a small aldea. Orman, it was called. Far west of here. Things happened, I left, here I am. Nowhere to go back to. You said things happened that made you leave your village. What things? He shakes his head slowly. I'm not ready to talk about that yet. How did you come to travel with Calestige? When the Order of the Truth failed me, I sought other help. Calestige was known for finding things, so despite her reputation for being unreliable, I approached her and she accepted, provided I help her find a way to achieve her transcendence. His eyes go far away for a moment. She seemed so kind at first, but when it became clear that neither of us could help the other, she became cruel and spiteful. I don't know why I stayed after that, or why she stayed with me. Habit, I suppose. Did you have a relationship? He grunts. If you call clawing and scratching at each other a relationship, then I suppose. His eyes grow far away. It was pleasant in the beginning. I needed solace and she needed validation, perhaps. But when I failed her, she grew bitter and cutting, and I never heard the end of it. She used her words like a whip, and she cut me down to the bone. Alright, but again, I just want to point out, are we not in... I mean, I guess it's Allergan's lab, but maybe not this Allergan?
Go.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, hey, it's Folsom. Hey, buddy.
Yes.
I'll talk to you in a hot second.
Yes.
A meat mongerer.
All right.
Very interesting place. Still nowhere where I could rest. Okay, I did see Folsom back this way.
On it.
This man towers over you, enormously fat and draped in gaudy robes. His expression is calm, stern even, as he regards the bloody mess spread across the floor and wall. The hooded figures on either side of him tense as you approach. He turns to inspect you, eyebrow lifted, and raises his hand. His bodyguards relax, watching you. In the space of a second, his eyes flick over you. He nods, apparently to himself, as if your presence has confirmed something he expected. One of the cast-off's godlings. That explains the missing pieces. What are you doing in the underbelly, Falling Star? I'm looking for someone? Are you? He says. I know everyone in the underbelly, and I'm seeking someone as well. Perhaps we can help each other.
Making a note.
He turns his back on you, staring down at the vast pool of blood. This is the remains of Weedle, one of my protégés. I had hopes for him. Now they'll never be realized. The underbelly is poorer without him. The rage beneath his voice cuts each word shorter and shorter. Bring me any information you find. Help me discover the identity of his killer, and you will be rewarded. He exhales sharply and then turns around. The fury you glimpse in him is buried once more.
Making a note.
There is an assassin named McKenna, he says. She is known as the White Death. I have helped her find work in the past, but she has become erratic. If she is not involved, she might know who is. If you wish to help in this matter, ask her what she knows. The creature named Mappa may know where she is. I'm not promising anything. A wise choice, he says, nodding. Only fools promise results. I want to examine the murder scene behind you. At first, Folsom doesn't respond. He merely stares down at you, through you. I will not have you trample through his blood without cause, he says at last. So there had better be one. I don't need your help that badly, godling. I know you're grieving for your protégé. All I want is to catch his killer. Unblinking, he regards you, his face a stoic mask, an iron wall. Finally he nods. Let her pass when she's ready, he tells the hooded figure at his sides. They incline their heads. Farewell,